friend, this is Mai with Creative Vibes, and today I want to talk about some of the hard parts about being a self-employed music therapist. I love my job and I love what I do, but it's just not always roses and butterflies. I think it's important to be transparent about all the pros and cons about being a music therapist in order to make informed decisions about whether this career path is right for you. So, one of the hardest things about being a self-employed music therapist is getting contracts, and it just takes a lot of patience and a lot of persistence. I've reached out to potential new contracts and not heard back for months or even up to a year after. This takes up a lot of time, especially outside of sessions, because as a new music therapy private practice, I need to get my name out there and educate people about music therapy and its benefits for the people that they serve. I think as my practice becomes more established, that it'll get easier and easier with more referrals coming in. But when you're first starting out, making cold calls is one of the best things that you can do for your business. And be prepared for a lot of rejection and silence from the people that you reach out to. Another thing that's been hard for me has been setting my rate and sticking with it. And I think a lot of us go into music therapy because we believe in it and we want everyone to have access to our services. But unfortunately, we also live in a capitalistic society which demands that we make enough money to survive and continue our business. So with that being said, not everyone can afford the services I provide at my current rate. Sometimes this is felt at odds with the core foundation of why I went into music therapy in the first place. But I also have to remember the years of school, internship, planning, and training I've undergone in order to become a board-certified music therapist, and the hundreds to thousands of dollars I've spent on school, books, materials, instruments, and driving throughout my career. And with that being said, I know my rate is fair. There are a few different ways that you can go about making your services more accessible as well. You can apply for grants and funding, and you can also offer some reduced rate sessions. You can also do a pay it forward program where your clients have the option to pay extra in order to fund someone else's music therapy sessions. But again, you have worked really hard to get to where you are now, and you deserve to be compensated for your time and effort. It can help to write down exactly what people receive with the rate you've set, as you'll come to realize that what you're charging is pretty fair. For a long time, I felt that I wasn't allowed to earn more than the bare minimum because of this starving artist mentality, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like that. You are allowed to make a comfortable living for yourself. And the last thing I want to touch on in this video is the loneliness of being a self-employed music therapist. And this is a little unique, as it's not always the case with people, especially those who work in one school setting or a hospital setting, but more so for those who travel to different facilities and families. It can just be a really lonely profession. It's hard enough to make good friends as adults as it is, and then when you spend most of your days on your own going to facilities, it feels almost impossible. And I struggled with this a lot when I was first starting out, but the longer I've done it, the easier it's become. I think COVID also showed me that I was a much bigger introvert than I initially thought about myself, but there's so many ways to build a music therapy community for yourself. I've met so many wonderful music therapists and built relationships with them over social media, and I try to call up friends when I'm on a particularly long drive to catch up. So these are just a few of the hard things of being a self-employed music therapist. I hope this doesn't scare you away from pursuing a music therapy career. And honestly, for me, the pros far outweigh the cons. I hope this was helpful, and thanks for watching. See you guys next time.